Hey guys, Huzzy here bringing you another video. Now welcome to part 2, just a 3v3 placement. So yes, this one we do find out what rating I get. And obviously the reason why we're doing this, one, it's a bit of fun at the end of the season. It's a different, different type of content really. But secondly, by the way, the first game we're playing Zillion. It's to get the extra chroma. So if you're unaware, there are technically three types of the new Orianna skin coming out. They've done it for the past couple years. That you can get one of the variants from just being gold in any queue. You get an extra chroma for each queue you're gold minimum in. So in flex queue and then also 3v3s, if you're gold in both of those as well, you get an extra chroma. So that's why I'm doing it. Again, being a higher rating solo queue player, your MMR does affect your other rank queues. So in theory, even if I went 0-10 in my 3v3 placement, I probably would still minimum get gold, in that area. So, yeah. But yeah, playing Zillion, I will say, in this round of 3, so we didn't play all 10 games in the same night. We played them about 3 days separate. We did a bit more research when it came to the champions we're playing. And again, I do go for the challenge to play different champions in every single game. Again, I'm running this clip longer just to give myself a little bit more of an intro time to kind of introduce the video. But also just to kind of explain, we're playing Zillion. This video, we do a bit more research. Again, people told us in the last video that we did, we actually played a lot of the good champions. Again, it's not hard to know what champions are going to be good in 3v3s. It's a very small, easy gank map, which is basically all about 3v3 skirmishes. So theory crafting what's good is going to be very easy. It's just whether if the champion is strong or not as an actual champion, which will probably make the difference individually. But yeah, Zillion I think was good because he is quite strong in bombing people, in doing, the double stun combo. But then also, if you have something like a Kayn, because here the Annie goes on me. If you've got something like a Kayn that is a very big hyper carry, while I ult myself, engage happening, Annie does not die yet. Unfortunately, I didn't die right when I wanted to, so a team fight is happening. You see the enemy team here is cleaning up. But yeah, so he's really good. I accidentally right-click a minion, so I stop, and that probably did get me killed. And you can see we get aced, very early into the game. It's not looking great. Fast forward a bit, later I do give XP to the Kayn, because he's the carry that I was talking about. We have one carry that Zillion can ult if he gets in trouble. He also has a lot of survivability himself, so it should be hard to kill us moving later into the game, with then also having a tanky Poppy, who again is hard to kill. This time I will say we are joined by Kirby. Some people will know Kirby in the history of this channel. Lucian mispositions a little bit, but we have to basically just run away as much as we can. Jax comes to the backline, does get a kill. Kirby does a nice move, bunching him into my tower. Unfortunately not enough. Right now, I am thinking that Annie is definitely going to be around because she was not involved in that team fight whatsoever. But again, we were playing this game. It wasn't looking good in the early game, but we stayed relatively calm because our comp was all about moving in forward to the late game. So I go for a play. We actually do end up killing the Lucian. It makes a small positional error, but again, the whole team is surrounding me. Annie was behind me, so I go for the all-in. We do kill the Lucian, so that's good. He also used heal, but there we get aced in the second time in a very short amount of time. So a lot of people would probably be like, oh, this game's over. But again, the strength of the comp is not early game. It's a Zillion Kayn Poppy. You're going to be mid-game, late game, if anything. So we just kind of keep calm and just keep her going. You can see, fast forward another 5 minutes or so. We're now in the position that Kayn has got red form. So we're going to start looking for more aggression. We bait the Jax relatively easily. Annie's coming down, but Poppy is nearby. We're just going to focus one person at a time because that seems to be the easiest way to go about things. I get one bomb, I get 2 bombs. Going to clean up both of them together. Again, the ratings of the people, we played these last night, so it is relatively fresh in my mind. The Annie was the weak point of the enemy team. She was like a gold player. The other two may have been platinum or thereabouts. But yeah, she wasn't very good. She kept mispositioning and just generally doing weird stuff. So we kind of picked on her a little bit. And then Lucian obviously being the carry of their team, we had to focus him a bit. Now, that ultimate by Kirby might seem a bit random. He did not mean to do it. He joked that he did. He didn't. He ulted it away. We actually did get the tower from that. So you can see here, again, mispositioning by Annie. They're going all in for a Kayn. But remember, Kayn, you get all in. He just survives with his ultimate. So again, questionable decision going for an all-in on a Kayn. Jax jumps on my face, which I'm completely fine with, because then I can use my ultimate to make myself survive. I don't even get killed, but obviously the one person remaining is the Lucian, so I think we just be a little bit careful. I don't think anything happens more. I think we do kill that tower after this play, though. Moving in, again, a bit forward. for a longer clip here, apparently. Annie, once again, going greedy for farm. She goes for an all-in on me, and then Lucian, for some reason, is, like, flanking me from the top. Again, I know, because we did a bit more research, Lucian is very highly recommended in threes at the moment, but not by the way that this guy played. Like, he went all in at the wrong times. He was alone a lot of the time. Like, he'd be very good if you've got, like, backup and support. He didn't do that. Like, he kept mispositioning in the mid-late game. Jack's mispositioning himself, and we always say to Kirby is just keep him busy, do not die to him, and we'll just get a free inhib at, you know, 25 roughly minutes of the game. And that's one thing I will say. Doing these 10 placements, I thought threes would be really quick. Let's just get those games out the way. It wasn't that quick. Like, it was a good, like, 4 hours roughly of playing League. Like, last night, these 5 games took 2 hours to do. That we just did last night. So, yeah. Anyway, predicting where Jax is going to be, make the correct prediction. To me, there was only one real place that he could have been. He goes for an all on me again. The whole point, you don't all in a Zilean because he just ults himself. And again, that's why I do think Zilean is strong on this map. Is he does good damage, he brings CC, he brings slows, and this map's all about chasing people and CC and AoE. That's what Zilean brings. And then also, it's a free GA. It's a completely free GA. So I actually think Zilean's very effective on this map. Potentially, the only thing I would say, if we were against better players, our damage may have been low in the grand scheme of things. Like having a Kayn go red Kayn, meanwhile the Annie goes for an all-in, they get pulled into my bomb. I Wooglets to make sure I stay alive. Flash away, I do get my bomb on the Lucian, so he is dead. They've turned their attention onto the Annie, and we also get the Spider. So a complete stomp situation. But yeah, that was if we were against better players, potentially our damage would have been a bit too lackluster, and maybe would have got outscaled in that sense. But their mispositioning basically is what cost them. So just fast forward to the end of the game. They go for a play on the Jax right at the end. Put salt in the wound, as it were. We do kill him. I don't think Lucian's going to die because I think we're about to end the game. He eased into us, funny enough. But yeah, there's the game. So there's game 1. I overall don't remember what that makes me in placements. I think we went 3-2 in the first 5 games. So this may make us 4-2. Now we're playing Olaf. So again, new champion every game. We're against an Aatrox. Now just to point out, this Aatrox was a Diamond 5 Aatrox. So again, in my 10 placements, I think I only played against 2 other Diamond players. The first one was the Victor from last episode, and then this is the second guy. So I said to my team, luckily that the 2 bruisers lane against each other. I was like, let me go against this guy no matter what, because I should be able to wreck him if he's no good at Aatrox or whatever. Now, I went Arcane Comet Olaf for a specific reason, to snowball. Conqueror Olaf is actually more effective in some situations, but on a map that is designed to chase people, I was like, I'm just going to chase people. So at this point, I will say I wish I had my microphone on, because all I was screaming was, get out of my lane! I was literally screaming it like 5 times in a row, and my friends Jeebus and Kirby were like, what the hell are you doing? I was like, I killed him! While I was screaming, get out my lane, I'm like, okay. So again, this game, I would say we're going to go relatively quick, I think. So again, back into lane after he spawns, going all in on him again. Mumu shows up, I get ignited, I flash away and actually manage to survive. And again, Mumu's been top now already like 2 or 3 times. So obviously the focus is to try and deny me. But to be honest, you don't, like, again, I'm hitting pretty much most of my axes. That's what the Arcane Comet's about. Hit your axes, poke them down in the early game where the Arcane Comet kind of is really good, and then you just go nuts. Another gank by a Mumu. He misses his Q. That was vital. Aatrox coming in. I dodge his first Q. Jax coming in to give me a little bit of a hand. I just tank the Aatrox Q because I don't really care. Mumu now going for an all-in, try to finish me off. Doesn't actually manage to do it. At this point, doesn't matter who gets the kill. Double kill for Jax. I survive as well. Enemy team, obviously, completely tilted at this point. It's a bit tilting to get killed at this mount, and obviously I don't even die. So just continuing the clip just to say, yeah, that's tower being taken at just, what, 4.5 minutes? So again, Olaf, pretty good. I would, if my suggestion, and again, I'm not a massive threes player, but, you know, anybody, I've seen people in gold in solo queue be challenger threes players, so it's probably not that hard. You just need to put time in, because nobody takes threes that seriously. So if you want to take my advice, yeah, Olaf, and I would definitely go the Arcane Comet. Now, fast-forwarding a bit more, unfortunately, yes, the Aatrox Rage Quit. A Diamond Aatrox player who got completely owned, absolutely, well, when I say Rage Quit, he was still around, but as you can see here, he's level 3, I'm level 7. By the way, he has 8 farm, only 8 farm, pretty much for the whole game. He inted a couple times here and there, like he just ran into me. So he just got completely owned and then was kind of being a baby about it. Like, you know, and I feel a bit sorry for the Amumu. He wasn't great, but like he deserved better than what he got. Again, earlier in the game, Amumu said, I'll report him with inting. I did protect the Aatrox, saying he didn't int, but later in the game he did. So us three, we did actually report the Aatrox. Some people will be pleased to know. Next game, we play Steve. So, again, my challenge of playing a new champion every single game, it was a good idea, but there's some champions that I reckon are, like, they're good champions, but I'm not entirely convinced they are okay on 3s. So I think we go over this game relatively fast, because if you look at the enemy team comp, they've got a really good dive combo. So they've got Kayn, which, again, we wanted the Kayn. Jeebus wanted to play it, but it was taken away, unfortunately, first pick. So Kayn is scary on this map. Vladimir is also scary in 3s because he's got crazy dive and AoE potential and healing. So the idea, and again, we have Kirby, who is just getting back into League now, and he's playing Ornn for the first time in a while, and Jeebus is, I think, first time in Camille. So again, we're not taking these seriously. If we would take these seriously, my two friends who are like gold players, they wouldn't be playing different champions as well. But we are, again, it's 3s. Like, it doesn't really matter. So he goes for a dive on me. I'm trying to just run away. The movement speed by Vladimir. I go for the Q hit, but then he gets the Ignite. The Ignite is what killed me. If he didn't have that up or didn't manage to get it off, I would have survived and killed him. But he did, and alas, I'm dead. So fast-forwarding a bit more, there's an engage potentially happening. Kayn looking, and you can see his damage is very high. Ornn does die, which was a bit surprising, but this Poppy went very high damage. She went like Tiamat Rush, which, again, normally wouldn't work. But, again, I think there was a slight rating difference in this game. Vladimir goes for a dive. They don't kill me. I don't have ultimate, though, unfortunately. Going for some Qs, do some geometry. Get 1 or 2 hits there. Kayn is potentially still looking. Does make a mistake himself. Just going for those Qs from safe-ish range. See if we can do anything. We do stay around. Them two are being a little bit greedy with over-positioning. They do kill me 1. But then I kill the Vladimir with minions. And the Jeebus finishes the Kayn just. So you can see, this game is relatively close right now. But then later in the game, just to highlight, so the Vladimir is nearly dead. And you can just see the complete damage difference between these two champions. Is that he was nearly dead and then goes from a position of nearly being dead to then having more health than me. Yeah, like that's just Vladimir in a nutshell, basically. Now he has flash. I go for the knock-up on the Q. Don't manage to get it. Go for the slow with the Q. I do get the slow. Jeebus is coming in for the return kill. But this is the kind of beginning, as I mentioned, is their dive potential was just insane. If they wanted me dead, they just like put Kayn into a wall, have Vladimir W and ignore my teammates and just get to me. So potential fight happening in the mid of the map. Go for a knock-up. Do miss it, unfortunately. Then I misposition slightly. So remember, this is just Vladimir by himself. Poppy has not got involved yet. He basically nearly kills me by himself. Poppy is now involved. I try to go for an ultimate play. Don't manage to get off. So we just get 2v3'd. Vladimir just got way too strong in this game. Again, I don't remember what rating he was. Probably around Platinum. And we just decided, this is game 9, I believe. We're just like, oh, let's just... it was at this time, it was like 10:30 in the evening. We're like, okay, let's just get out of this game, get into the next game, which I think is the last game, if I'm not mistaken. Or was that game... That might have been game 8. This might be game 9. Alright, so this is game 9. So I make a mistake. We're playing Fizz this time. I make a mistake, but then go for a complete all-in because I was 100% to the brand, but I do actually manage to get him. So that was actually a bad mistake by me turned into an okay situation because I just completely all-in. I think brand used Flash and Ignite to kill me, so yeah. Now this game, so already you can just notice Kirby is 0-2. Basically, again, we were all getting tired. Miscommunication was happening. We do end up dying and feeding the Aurelia a lot. So the Aurelia was a high platinum player, I think. And Kirby is a gold player that never has played Yorick. So there, again, there was some miscommunication. What champion you do? What do you want? I'll just pick me one. Jeebus picked him Yorick. Oh, I've never played Yorick. You know, mistakes happen. Again, none of us are annoyed by it. We don't care. All we wanted was just to get to that gold for the Chroma. Full stop. Now, I make a mistake here because, yes, there was a call that Aurelia is missing, but I reckon, like, again, I took the decision of, oh, she's definitely back in top lane. Nah, she overstayed a little bit, didn't go back to top straight away. Team fight now. Again, Aurelia at this point is very fed. She practically has most of the kills on her team. I decide just to go for an all-in on the brand to try and get a kill. Kirby might try to get something. Nope. And then Aurelia is, I think, basically getting herself more. Well, she gets a double kill. Brand gets a 1 kill. So in a 2v3 situation, we get killed. We just let them win the game really quickly. And now we get into the final game. And I'll say this game was the final game. Let's just set up the situation. It's the final game. We're all really tired. I'm playing Morgana, by the way. We just want a very nice, quick game. We obviously want to win it. It'll be nice. I think if we win this game, I roughly think we'll be 7-3 or 6-4. 6 wins, 4 losses, maybe, if we win this game. If not, I think we go 5-5. But I'm playing Morgana. But yeah, just to set up the situation, we want a quick, nice game. End of the games. Both me and Jeebas get placed after this one. Go for a dive here. After the first blood, we get a night, well, not first blood, but after a kill, we get a really nice dive. We calculate it really well. But this game ended up to be the longest game of the night. So all the games would be roughly about 25 minutes, give or take. This one, I think, went about 35. We'll see when we get to the end of the highlights. But yeah, it was the longest game. I was like, are you serious? The game that we just want to end really quick was the longest. Teamfight happening relatively early into the game. They go for a Gnar ultimate. They bunch all their damage into one position. They're leaving the Aurelia alone for a little bit too long, I'd say. The split that they did, the Jax does stay alive, if I'm not mistaken, and he does actually pick up a kill. There we go. Then I'm on the Gnar. What I think their mistake was splitting. If the Kennen stayed on the Jax, I think they would have ended up winning the team fight. Kirby did do an outplay all chat thing there. Again, I love him. He's a good friend of mine, but he's the type of guy that hates when people all type to him, but then he also does it himself occasionally. We told him to snap out of it. Again, it's 3v3. I don't mind if you want to reply to people in 3v3s. It's less serious. So if someone's trying to meme to you, you feel free to do it back to them. But don't be the person to start it. Like, that's what I said to him. And he didn't do it anymore. But, yeah. Anyway, the engage happening into the enemy territory. Jax manages just to survive. I actually probably spell shield the wrong target because he was safe. He escaped. Going for an all-in. I get a nice bind onto the Ken. You can see my damage is quite high. We do get a return kill on him. And Mumu just manages to survive for now. Nearly getting an ace, though. And again, this game's already been a crazy game. Go for an ignite play. He manages to avoid my pool. He does flash away. He's making, like, where am I going to go? Because if he went right, I would have just killed him. He manages to survive for a while. And what he should be doing is probably continuing to run. For some reason, like, why does he not run right now unless he just doesn't know where I am? So he goes back to farm. He misses his Q. I had spell shield anyway, and he just dies. So again, mispositioning. He could have survived there very easily. But again, decision making was just a little bit off. But again, you have to see the enemy team comp is they're basically looking for all-ins, like here, an all-in onto one person, maybe 2 people with SDC. But their damage, I will say, is very lackluster. They don't actually have what I'd actually call a carry. Like the Kennen maybe, but his damage isn't that good. Amumu is obviously tanky, and then Gnar is a bruiser. So they don't have something like an Aurelia or a Jack. Like, we got both. Maybe they wanted one of them, but you can see here, this is the strength of their team comp, is that they're tanky. So when we try to dive them, they don't die very quickly. Fast forward quite a bit now. We're at 26 minutes into the game. We've got Vilmore. I get the nice bind on him. And honestly, the Amumu was the one being the problem. So I see an all-in opportunity. I go for the all-in. It was a mistake. Both the Jax and Aurelia at this point, I don't think had built basically any magic resist, and that's the main thing we're dying to. And again, it sounds weird, we're dying to it. It's not their damage that's killing us, it's just they're so tanky that they're surviving when we're tower diving, and it's probably the tower diving that's actually killing us. Anyway, and all in is happening. Look on the minimap, Jax is actually in the bot lane. So I make the decision just to go all in. You know, yes, we're outnumbered, we're probably going to lose this 2v2, but if we manage to just even get 1 kill, maybe, and even if we don't get a kill, the main thing that the enemy team are doing is stalling, and it's really annoying. Like, they're just stopping us pushing, and we was trying to get that top lane inhibitor tower for quite a while, so I just make the call to Kirby. Ignore him, go straight for the inhibitor, because what that gives us is board control. Like, now we've got super minions going into the bot lane. He does kill the Gnar, and again, I cut the kill hit a little bit, but that Gnar did die. And now the inhibitor, again, fast forward a bit more. We're at 32 minutes now. The inhibitor's back up. Top lane inhibitor, I also think, is now dead because with the super minions going bot lane, we just bombarded the top lane. But we can't ignore the enemy's all-in is not bad. They're very tanky, and they can just survive a very long time. So we're potentially looking for a little bit. You'll notice my build, I've gone something a little bit weird for Morgana. All in coming in. Again, this is what they want. They want to just jump on a target, CC them to death. And again, both my Gnar and my, not my Gnar, my Jackson are relatively squishy. So I'm basically just trying to stall here as much as I can, survive as long as I can, because of the super minions in top lane, if they can push in or something. But we get aced. Again, fast forward a bit more. We now have, I think, Valmor again. All in coming in. They go for the Jax. He does die instantly. But they have used basically all their big damage spells now with only killing the Jax. So they leave the Aurelia alone. I managed to get a nice stun to slow them down. They don't have Mega Gnar either. So this is where they just are getting pushed in. It's just too much pressure. Again, even though they were winning several team fights and acing us, we had the constant minion pressure. The inhibitors kept dying. And again, 36 minutes it took to win this game. Was the final game of the night, and we wanted it to end as quick as we could, but it was the longest game. But there we go. There is the final victory. So that I believe that makes us 6-4. We'll try and confirm it here. So we go into the end of screen just to show you what rank we get. We got, I zoom in a bit more, we get gold 3. So gold 3 is fine. Again, I really didn't care what rank we got. All I cared about was simply getting gold. So we went 6-4. I wanted just to get gold, pretty much that simple, just to get that extra chroma for the victorious Orianna skin. But anyway, if you enjoyed, throw a like on it, subscribe. See you guys next time.